YouTube, good morning. Welcome back to another live session. So it's 9:26. There's 4 minutes to the open, so I'm a little on the later side. Steve, what's going on, man? Evan, what's up? Darnell, Cody, I like it. I like it. What's up? What's up? Okay, so there's 2 minutes 55 seconds to go. I'll post the watch list here. I'll post the watch list into the stream. We have four stocks, although three of them are not looking super good. INDO, I think, will be the main one, but it is pulling back. I took one trade on it. I'm actually red, 50 bucks, which isn't good. Not INDO, that's NVCT. NVCT. Good push initially, lighter volume, but as the volume got in there, I was watching the pullback, first 1 minute candle making a new high at 26. I'm long at 29. And it flushes down. I stop out at 11. I could have been a little bit faster on the exit, maybe for 15, 18, but I got out at 11, 300 shares, taking a $56 loss. So not the way I wanted to start the day, but not a big loss, so that's fine. But I don't like that it's pulled back the entire way. It didn't even hold the VWAP, which I thought it would have been able to do. So there's the 2 minute warning. Yeah, it wasn't able to hold the VWAP well. Initially, we came down there to 80, which was good. We had a high of 805, so it did bounce a little bit, but we didn't get the red to green back through high of day. This setup I did like, I did like the setup here before the break over 26. In this area, I told myself either the traded VWAP or the 1 minute candle to make the new high, whichever one came first. The new high came first, then it was a false breakout coming down. So, yeah. I actually left to go use a bathroom at this time, so that's why the stream is a little late. Anyhow, Brian, what's up? Good morning. Duppy man, I see you. Top of the morning. So with a minute to go for the opening statements, right? Last week, I would say, was a very good week overall from the action we had on Thursday, Friday, especially the big move, ISPO, ANGH, really impressive stuff. So coming in today, I want to watch out for exactly what happened here. False breakouts. Friday was a very good day. I got caught in a false breakout to end the day, unfortunately, which put me in the red after being up in the green. So I definitely want to be careful with the false breakouts. I feel like we're coming in, we're transitioning, but we might not be out of the woods just yet into this, let's say more hot market. But caution is going to be key in those areas where stocks are not moving up immediately, where I'm expecting the fast breakouts. I want to be quick to get out of the trade, even if it means a flat trade, and then maybe the stock does go up a few cents, right? I think it's better to cut the trades quick than to hold longer and not see the move happen, right, in terms of that breakdown. So that's what I'm watching out for here. That's going to be key. So with 8 seconds to go, let's manage risk. Let's look forward to having a good day. Let's stay positive. Let's rock and roll. I'll pull up the level 2 and look forward to a nice session here. So the watch list is posted. I'll be rotating through. We'll see if something does pop up. As the night bot is coming in there, guys, be sure to like and subscribe, right? Hit that thumbs up button if you're checking in. We have 60 viewers right now. I know Ross is live. He should be cutting off pretty soon and streaming just to the Warrior Pro, so we'll get a few more people tuning in. Brian, I use mental stops. I sell the trades myself. Some people will let the account, the brokers do it, right? They'll put actual stops, like through the brokers. LMD, what's up? And it's saying Ross is finished. Yeah, so we'll definitely have a few people tuning in. So NVCT VWAP is at 70. Let's see if it does curl back up here and can get back over 8. It would be pretty impressive for the red to green. I'll check the scans in a sec. SKYH from Friday is down a good amount. Doesn't look too good as the street cleaner is coming by. So we have HOOK, which is pushing up a little bit, but it's cheap. It's a little cheaper. It's at 260. You guys know how I feel about that range. That range has been giving me hell the last couple of weeks. So I I really don't even want to look at it unless it just really takes off. I mean, I'm not gonna look at it too much. Is this the new platform that I've been using? Yeah, so the TOS platform here on the left hand side. You know, I'm trying to get more and more into using it fully. So, you know, day by day, it's definitely a slow process. I've been using E-Trade since I basically went from Robinhood, so like 2-3 years. I don't know the time frame, maybe 2.5-3 years of using E-Trade Pro for level 2 and other things. And so transitioning into a new broker, I didn't expect it to be like very, very smooth. It's not difficult, right? To make it clear, it's not difficult, but it's something I'm realizing is, you know, when we talk about time and just, you know, going slow, you know, almost like getting used to a new car, but it's slightly different. That's kind of the analogy that's coming to mind. Getting used to a new car, maybe you're going from like a 4 cylinder to, like, you know, like something that's like V8 or something. It's like it's much faster, much more quick. A lot of the buttons and instruments that you're used to being in certain places are in a different area, right? And so you're, you know, 2-3 years of doing something one way, you got to kind of switch it up a little bit. So it just takes some time, some adjusting. The level 2 is my biggest thing because, you know, I just want to make sure that I can read it properly. Um, the E-Trade level 2 being that it was so slow. INDO, by the way, it's looking pretty decent here. It's curled up nicely over those last 2 minutes. Bit of a pivot at 40. We're at 40 right now. It's not pulling back though. And big push, 60. Hot levels are at 71. Is it going to get locked in? It might. So quick red to green there for INDO. Surprise move on this one. Okay. It's halt. Well, is it locked in? It doesn't seem like it's locked in yet. Big buyers there too. So yeah, we're locked in at 71. Okay. If I had noticed it earlier, I probably could have gotten the trade at 60, but well, at 40. But yeah, pretty quick red to green there. Yeah, so you know, getting used to the you know, the key indicators being in different locations is something. All of that is just comes with time. INDO. Let's put this back today. I took the trade pre-market in TOS. The fills are really good. I took it on TOS, but I have my Thinkorswim pulled up just in case of like connection issues or anything like that, which I've been warned about from a few of you guys. I don't think it's gonna happen often, but yeah. Right now, the number one thing I have to be careful is my power going out because, you know, my brother's using some big heaters downstairs in the basement. We have generators, but you know, having to go down and check. He'll do it though. He's home, so he'll do it. He'll go to the power box, flip the switch before it goes out. So INDO halted up. NVCT unfortunately having a hard time. You guys already know how I feel about these halts. I want every bit of and part of this. If it can resume higher, squeeze, dip down, give the entry for the retest to the highs. This stock is a $5 stock, so I feel very comfortable. I would say 600 to 800 shares. I'll do on the lower side. 600 shares. I am red. The daily chart for INDO looks pretty decent over 580. There'll be room up to 6, and then from there 780. So this one has a lot of potential here. INDO. You know what? Since the daily chart looks so good, I think I'll go up to 800 shares. Resumption time, by the way. Resumption time. We're halted at 33.58. So in exactly 5 minutes from that time, we will see the resumption. So 38.58. 38.58 for resumption, assuming it is a 5-minute halt, of course. So we will see. I looked at this one before switching back to NVCT. It was looking, light volume, not much. 77,000 shares, and then from there at 505, the volume really came in. So a good break of VWAP, no pullback, straight move up. $38. We will see what happens. We'll take the trade through TOS, right? I think it looks good enough for this one. Why not? As long as spreads are tight, coming down. If it does give the opportunity, I don't mind. I'll have the flatten button ready too, just in case, if anything. So for those of you in the Discord, EXAC, Jay, everyone else, hopefully you guys are doing all right today. Feeling good. Maybe a few trades in on this one, INDO. OCGN getting called out here by Marcelo. OCGN. Let's see. So 38.58. We got about 50 seconds to go, assuming it is a 5-minute halt. Hands on the buy button, as you guys know. No fear, no hesitation here. If we can see the entry. So let me sit back in my chair, get my hands on the buy button, and see what we get here. INDO. Can we resume at like 590 and push over 6 and then get the dip? 571, 574. Waiting. 10 seconds. INDO, 10 seconds. 4, 3, here we go. Okay, 588. Can we push a little bit more? Will we see the dip? Oh, not quite. Yeah, not quite. I'm gonna actually lose 10 cents there. It did dip down pretty well, but we didn't hold. It's pulling back to the VWAP. I like the fills, man. The fills feel pretty good. I'll take a 10-cent loss there. Yeah, we're getting a topping wick, so we'll see. Maybe it bounces up, but we'll have to give it some time. Let's see if it does hold. It comes down to that level around 50 pretty well, 55, let's say. I'm waiting for green right there. There's some green that comes in, but not enough. We don't hold. So I'm in at 67 out of 58, but we're pulling back. So not, and similar to what we saw just now pre-market. So a good size move. But when we get the pullback, we don't hold the pullback. It just dips down. So it seems like the first move so far today being the better the better opportunity. Yeah, the fills felt really good there, man. The fills felt very good. That I do like. That's a good sign. It definitely, I think it feels a little faster, man. But I'll have to like trade more to like know for sure. IMPP is moving up a little bit. Let's check that one. So we're flushing back down. We'll see if it's able to hold the VWAP area, but considering the drop off here, I don't know. It'll be hard to know for sure. All right, so I got to be careful. This is 2 losses now in a row. If I take a third loss, 3 strikes and I'm out. The rule of 3. So my next trade here, we got to be careful. Bearish engulfing, man. Bearish engulfing there. No good. HOOK, not much. Let's take a look at this IMMP here. Or is it IMPP? IMPP. Yeah. Well, it's at 80 cents, so not much here. Unfortunately, I used to love this price range, man, but over the last, let's say, like year, it hasn't really been doing too much, so that hasn't been good. INDO is down. HOOK on the other hand, decent volume, but isn't looking super well, right? It's not looking that attractive. The 5 minute is looking all right, right? 5 minutes looking all right, but let's see. These type of stocks I refuse to scalp, but trades off the lows is not a it's not something that I would mind, but I mean it's a long shot. We'll see. The 5 minute charting does look decent though, in terms of the volume profile, how we're coming up in relation to the daily chart. VWAP is down there at 66. High of days at 78. I'll come back to it, but for now, hard maybe. Let me take a look at the scans at on E-Trade. So CCL, not much there. Macy's, by the way, I've been watching at Macy's for the last couple of days from, I'm not in the swing trade, but I wanted to see how it would have been playing out. I think it's crucial that by the end of today, it closes above 28.50. So it needs to do $1 a share by the end of today. Because if I'm in the swing trade down at and it's from the 200 EMA around 23. If I'm in there around $23.90, $24, this thing must close above 28.50 today because there's earnings today. I'm pretty sure. I believe there's earnings today. So if it closes above that level, it can break this big bear flag that's on and get into that uptrend, which there'll be room from 28.50 up to 30, 32, 35, and hopefully even 38 after a few weeks or months, which would be really good for the swing. This would have been a very long hold. I could see myself in this trade for weeks on weeks. Yeah, at least like 2-3 weeks so far. Kind of one of those stocks that I saw a little late, but I thought the entry was looking good. Thought the setup was good, a good setup. So we got INDO, which is down. Bit of a topping wick on the 5. It's around the VWAP area. Being that we have a topping wick, for me to get back involved in this one, it'll have to prove some strength with the first 5 minute candle making a new high. And maybe if it gets back to like 560, 580, maybe like on a flag or something, I'd probably give it a shot with smaller size to see if it would be able to take high of day. But right now, definitely a lot of weakness with the topping wick. Our 5 minute candle having more volume on the red side versus that move to the upside that we had to go into the halt. So not too good when we look at it overall, right? Not too good at all. The short sellers definitely attacking it, and I would say the short sellers a little bit more aggressive, considering the move we had on ISPO. I would be thinking the short sellers would be a little bit more cautious before before going in. Kim not holding VWAP. Darnell, that's right, man. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, guys. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. We have 286 people in attendance, guys. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. I can't forget. Today I got to take out $1,000 out of this account for something. I cannot forget. If I do, it's going to hold me up a couple days because I don't want to touch my savings for anything. Better money from the brokerage account than my savings account. It's kind of how I look at it. Like anything, the way how I view my account as we have a RSX pushing up. Anything from my brokerage account that's over like 27,000 is basically like check-ins account money. Is how I look at it. If I to ever need some extra cash or something. Yeah, there's something I gotta take care of, so cannot forget. HOOK. I did take a lot of money out of this account though at the beginning of the what was it, the beginning? I guess beginning and end of the year to pay some debt. some good debt, I will say, right? Good debt. For those of you who saw that video a few weeks ago. No bad debt over here, man. Not seeing much hitting the scans. I'll double check the Thinkorswim scanners. Looking at the E-Trade Hive Day Momentum scanner, not seeing much. I'll double check the scanner at Thinkorswim. So I got my work cut out for me. I'm down 135. I've been feeling pretty confident these last few months, but you know the momentum has been so slow. You know, right there, just no follow through on that resumption. It's a good dip. We hold, looking for the green to get back in. We're surging, but we're only seeing 65, 66. You know, right there, we want to see the retest of high of day, which is around 80, or was that over the whole dollar? I'll have to go check. So anyhow, let's check the scans here really quickly. So OCGN, which was called out, currently at $4. INDO, NVCT, Macy's, DWAC, which was up a good amount. The warrant is up here. You can take a look at DWAC. DWAC. So OCGN, it's pushing a bit of a higher float, right? So we know a bit of a higher float. But it's going up. So something's here. Over 395, we had a high of 412. So definitely an opportunity for 10 cents in there around the VWAP area. Is it one that might be able to make a big move in a short time frame? Probably not. But for those people who are looking to hold longer, so maybe it'll probably be good for trades off the lows if it comes back down on a 5-minute setup. Could watch it in a situation like that, but for now I'd be waiting. BBIG hitting the scans. BBIG, SBLK. What's this one looking like? SBLK, the daily chart not so impressive. We got to get back over 31.36. Slightly higher float, a little bit more expensive, so not much for me. For the beginner traders watching on, right? Look at that halt, like that halt trade that I'm gonna approach. Like I mentioned before, like if I see the setup, right? If I ever see the setup in that kind of trade, or any trade for that matter, like if there's a good A quality setup, you got to be confident about it. And if it does result in a loss, then that's just what it is. So you can't be like upset. The more experienced traders, of course, who've been trading for a few years, will know. But just like a bit of a, touching on that, because when it works, right, we're not going to be losing $80. We'll be making like 70 cents, 50 cents, maybe. And the winner is much more drastic, unless it'll have to absolutely just flush down hard. Like if I'm long at 70 and it just drops to like 20 or 10 or something, then it's like I'd be more upset about the trade. It's like, okay, not even upset, let's just say disappointed, really. BKKT moving up but not much volume, it doesn't seem like. Yeah, I'd be more disappointed in the trade, but besides that, we accept the risk always. Friday we had a pretty good halt resumption on F. Well, I can't remember the ticker. We had 3 halts going up, and then it finally flushed down out of the 3rd resumption, I believe. We had a pretty decent trade on that one. It's crazy because sometimes on those setups I'm more aggressive than other setups. I don't know. There's something about it that makes me feel so comfortable. I guess it's just the familiarity of the trade working out, because that's what really inspires confidence. It's just you seeing a setup that works out, like that gives follow through. That way you can take as much size as you want and not really worry. So rotating through, not seeing much. We might take a look at some of the large caps just to see what's going on. Maybe we could take a short trade with some smaller size. It makes, actually thinking about that, some hot buttons for the short side actually might not be a bad idea. Shout out to my guy Volatility, man. I've been watching some of his recaps. Smaller channel, similar size as me, but he primarily is going short, so you guys can check him out. He'll be around in the comments every now and again. But yeah, he got some good hot buttons through DAS. We got PPL moving up. PPL, higher float stock, up 1%. Currently pulling, bouncing off the lows. In case anybody's interested in that one. PPL, moving up slightly, higher float. Daily chart is not too impressive for my liking, but I know there's a lot of different strategies you guys are trading, so maybe there's something out there for you guys. INDO curling up slightly, and over 50. Let's see if it starts to gain some ground. I think it still looks pretty weak considering the charting here, coming down. INDO coming up slightly. This scanner here is actually not too bad, but it doesn't work pre-market, which I don't like. Bearish engulfing, man. Bearish engulfing. Let's see how the red to green does. Volumes, once again, doesn't look good. See, now it's when it's curling up like this, it's hard to trust it. So I'll wait for confirmation here. I'll wait for confirmation. I forgot. I'll put back my level 2. There we go. Wait for some confirmation. Volume. We are getting close to Hive Day volume, which is good. So that's a good sign. Hot levels are around $5.98, $6. Around $6 for the hot levels. Hive Day volume there is a start. That's a good sign. That's a good start. Still not out of the woods, and we are getting a topping tail candle already. I think a 5-minute setup probably would be decent if it's able to hold up key levels. But we'll see. That'll be around 10 minutes from now. But we'll see. I'm thinking if it gives like a 5-minute bull flag, maybe we could retest the highs. But the 1-minute charting, it'll be harder to trust since we have this big bearish candle coming down with the topping wick. So I'll give this one some time and then see what happens. There might be some small scalps in there, right? Maybe 5 cents. That's INDO. SKYH from Friday, not too much going on right now, lighter volume. PHUN is down, so I'm guessing DWAC is also down. DWAC, man, high of 38. I didn't realize it was this high. I thought it went to 100. I didn't realize it was 138 pre-market, so pretty impressive. Although, it's going up to that on that move with just about 1,000 shares per candle, which, is kind of hard to deal with. But, I mean, it's nonetheless, anybody who was swinging it for the last few weeks, which I know a lot of people have, I've heard a few people mention it, so, if you wake up and you're swinging this thing at like $75 and you come and see pre-market, it's at, 120. Even if it's just 50 shares, 100 shares, 300 shares, I mean, whatever amount of shares, it's a really good trade. So that's impressive. INDO, we are getting a bit of a flag so far, so I'll keep watching here over the next 5-10 minutes. This 5-minute candle I want to see go sideways if possible, and then have the new 5-minute candle make the new high, so we'll have a bit of a bull flag. But we'll see if it plays out that way. If not, I'll adjust as it goes. So we'll see if it happens. Okay, good move to 86. Hot levels at 610. Let's see. Yeah, big push there. Big push. It's halted now at 620. Very interesting price action today, man. Very interesting price action. It seems like it's going to get locked in here, too. We got some big buyers. Very interesting price action. So we're gonna get the 5-minute candle to make the new high over 72. Now this is the question: could I have taken the setup over 72? I definitely could have, but there's nothing right now at that time, showing that hey, this move should work and work with a good level of follow through. So not long in there. It's coming over a topping tail for the new high day level. So if we reverse the roles, let's say this candle here actually, even if it pulls back, let's say it comes down gradually, it's like a more of a slow pullback. We hold up key levels, maybe at like the $0.50 at 50. Then a trade like this, I'm much more inclined to take because the stock has been a stronger stock overall. But being that there's this much weakness, nothing is inspiring confidence here to take the trade. Yeah, so we'll see on the resumption again. Now we do have high day volume once again at 950, which was a good start. So we'll see. I feel pretty good. Like I feel pretty good, but the market I feel like has to match my confidence. Like it has to show me follow through. Unfortunately, a stock like ISPO comes up, and it is like that lighter volume type of move, that we spoke about last week. Now, a lot of times we'll see like smaller size to try and mitigate the risk, but with there being big spreads, I just stayed away. So, INDO not quite that, that issue. This one a different problem. The first move, we want to see some more strength on that pullback. So, being that we are where we are now, I think it does look good again. We're over high of day. We broke through the halt level. We're locked in. High of day volume, not candle at 950. I'll watch it again. 500 shares this time, but if it doesn't look like it wants to hold up, I'm not even going to take the trade. We got to see good buyers coming back in for me to take the long. So can we resume at, let's say, 640, 20 cents, or even 15 cents, right? 635, push through 650, 660, 670 maybe. Once we get that dip back down, 30-cent dip or so, I'll be watching for the volume to get back in for a retest of the highs. So same setup. Those of you who've been around here know what it looks like, right? So if you're new, that's what I'm looking for. I'll always mention it in case there's a couple of new people every day. So be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to the channel. We're locked in at, and the DAS level 2 actually says it here at 956.42. So in exactly 5 minutes from that time, we will have resumption 01 at 01 and 42 seconds. 01 and 42 seconds. So a little over a minute. Sit back, relax, and wait. If I take a loss on this trade, I'll definitely be out. It'll be 3 strikes and out. I'm not going to push it too hard if we're not going to see the good follow through. Better to be down somewhere less than 200 than to, like be too aggressive and have this be like a $500 a day. Then it's like a little too much. Do I feel confident about this trade? Best believe so. So let's see what we get. Once again, if the setup comes, no fear, no hesitation. But I do have to be careful about what we saw last time where the green is coming back in, but we don't get the follow through. Because once again, if it flushes, it could be like a 30, 40 cent loss, which of course would put me down a little bit more than I would like. So we got to be careful nonetheless. So 01 and 42 seconds. Let me drink some water here. Much better, much better. So 01 and 42 seconds for resumption. I feel like it's one of those days where my accent is just fighting me to come out. Like, you guys don't know, man. At every turn, my accent is fighting to come out. So I'm checking on the Discord here. I see Raphael saying a flush might happen in the stream. Um, Getting a couple of call outs there. So let's see what it does right here. Here we go. Okay, a little sideways. High of days at 27. I'll watch for a pullback. Let's see if we get some sort of pullback here on the one. High of the current candle is 34. High of days at 49. The new 1 minute candle is about 45 seconds out. So we'll see if we get something here. INDO. It'll have to hold up though. We can't afford that topping tail. Should be interesting here. There's 3 minutes remaining in the 5 minute candle. I think it's fighting. We've got a high of 34. Okay. Big buyer at 40. Is it going to hold? It does. It's going to give more of a push. A 69 for the high. Okay. Well, I'm getting some misreads. Attempted high of day right there, not quite. Can we break and hold 70? Is that possible? The reason why I'm not using the TOS platform right here is because after each trade I'll have to reset the quantity. Yeah, it's having a bit of a hard time. I'll have to reset the quantity in the active trader window, which I don't want to be doing right now because, you know, speed definitely is a bit of a factor here. So 73 still high of day. If we can break and hold above that level, it wouldn't be bad. I was close to taking the trade with that buyer at 40, but we came back down. We sold about 10,000 shares. Wanted to make sure we weren't going to flush through. So here we go. Can we hold 72? 67, 65, 68. I'll give it a shot. Not seeing it. So I'll take a flat trade. 86. We are going to hold 70 there. Are we going to open up some more? 68 for the high. Well, 88 for the high. We could have got a little bit of a faster push in there. There's room right now on the daily chart to 780, or is it 735? So a break of 7. I think it looks good here if we can get the break of 7. Can we hold? Well, 95 on the bids. 01. Not quite. We got a high of 12. It's pushing up, man. It's grinding up. It's moving. If there's a big bid, it could help right here. Not really seeing pullback, so watching for scalp opportunities on level 2. Can we hold above 10 on the bids? 9, 6, 5, back down. So not quite. So if we can see a 1 minute pullback right here, I think that'd be pretty good. But we're getting locked in for another halt at 19. We'll see if it holds right here. 25. So are some accounts getting blown here to the short side? Very possibly. Very likely. Right? Very likely, I should say. Not possibly, but likely. So here we are at 26. We'll see if it gets locked in. Yeah, seems like it's going to get locked in. So we held that low. My trades aren't going to connect as well. We got all right, not bad. So we're getting some good momentum here. So 33 at 45 for high of day. Then the break of 70 didn't work too well. Didn't get the break of 7, which wasn't good. So yeah, ABA with a $20 donation, man. I appreciate it. I didn't even realize. Big shout out to ABA for a huge donation there. I think that might be the biggest donation to the channel since starting. So I definitely appreciate it, man. Big shout out to ABA for the donation there. So guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. We're actually getting some momentum here. INDO, man. The only bad thing is that I'm not in the green. So I took, what's that, like 4 trades? 1, 2, 3, 4 in that last move. That break of 70 I felt pretty good about, but not seeing the follow through. I'm in at 74. The move isn't happening right away. Want to be careful of the flush down because it is a very aggressive trade at the high of day level. But we do hold 70 right there and get the push to 86. So I missed out on 10 cents, let's say, but no entry over break of 7. So yeah, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing if you are new to the channel. At this point, I like it. It has room. Like I feel now I'm feeling more confident about the stock. We have room to 780 right now. So we got halted at 10:06 and 12 seconds. So in exactly 5 minutes from that time, we should get resumption at 11 and 12 seconds. So waiting patiently. We got to be careful though. What is this? The third halt? If this is the third halt, yeah, this is the third halt. So yeah, we got to be careful with the stock running out of steam. It might be finished on this one. Now, there's no way of guaranteeing that. We could still go to 780 for that target, but we got to be careful. If it does break 780, then it might be really, really strong for 920 would be the next level, but we got to be careful. It is extended at this point, right? When we talk about the 5-minute chart, so we got to be careful. The rule of 3 sometimes, sometimes takes effect. I mean, I could have had my third loss and would have been, I more than likely would have either just stopped trading or maybe reduced my size drastically for damage control, one or the other. But we'll see. I started off with 2 red trades. Good follow through on this move though. Good follow through, good volume. So checking in, once again, we're halted at 06 and 12 seconds. So at 11 and 12 seconds, assuming it is a 5-minute halt. So we got about a minute to resumption, 1 minute to resumption, INDO. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, right? Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Once again, big shout out for the donation there on ABA from ABA. I'm going to call out for Nokia, so we'll take a look at it later on. Let's see what we get here in the next 30 seconds or so. So, watching, waiting, 12 seconds, hands on the buy button, 10, 9, 4, here we go, watching, good, 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 good. Can we squeeze? Well, it's not going to squeeze. So, high of days at 50, what is it going to be? Over the highs, it's still going to be worth the shot. But it needs to hold up well. If not, it'll probably come down. Once again, this is the third halt, so we got to be careful. Quick push to 50. Can we hold? Here we go. Okay. Can we break over 8? There's a big buyer there, 50,000 shares. Can we break over 8? INDO. If it breaks 8, there'll be room to 950. Time, 3 minutes left in the 5-minute candle. I'm in at 62 out at 93, so not a bad trade there. That was a pretty big bid, so that person and their shares got filled. They're in right now, 54,000 shares at 50. So there's people thinking it's going to continue going even now. So let's see if it pulls back and sets up something here. But volume so far at 1.9 million shares, which is high of day volume. Oh, no, it's not. We got 3.2. Okay. So we'll give it a sec to pull back and then see what it does. I think there might be a 1-minute flag coming if it can hold up lows at $7. $7.26. It's actually showing the high of 8, so that's interesting. Can we hold 50 if it breaks here for the 1-minute setup? The candle is a doji on the 5, so I don't want to be careful here. Can we hold it? There's 65. Doesn't quite give the dip I wanted there, but it's curling up, coming up here. Let's see, watching. What was that? Don't tell me I have to switch back to the DAS platform already. We got a high of 90 on the candle here, on the 1. I'll watch break of 8 if we can hold above the level. I think it looks good. Oh, 22. 22. Okay. $7.90. 89. 73. Here we go. Well, not quite. So that'll be a flat trade. Not quite, not quite. When we hit the high day level like that and we dip down to 70, once we start to hold, I'm expecting the second wave of green to come for the rip through 8. So not quite. I think it looks good though. Alright, we need a good couple of trades now, man. It's been too long. 790. Still watching, still waiting. The hot level should be a little bit higher by now. The new candle's 10 seconds out on the 1. Watching, waiting. It's churning right here. It's choppy right here, so I'm giving it some more time. I can always take the break of 8. $88. What's it gonna be? Where are those bulls? Can we see it? JG, you in the building today, man. The hot level is now at 830, which I think is good. Flat top at 790. Flat top at 790. VWAP is at 43. Let's see if we pull back here to 720, it could be worth a shot off the lows. We got a low of 13. if I'm long at like I'll reduce size a little bit too. If I'm long at we'll see if it comes down a little bit more. If I'm long at like 15, I'll have my stop below the whole dollar. Can we see? Well, I don't want that many shares. Gotta be careful there. Well, we see the fill at 20. There it is. So below the whole dollar, I'll look for my stop if we can. Looking for to see if it'll hold up here for the red to green. Now I'm in a little bit on the higher side of the range, but let's see how it does. I think the support zone is at 26. Could have been in at 15, maybe 10, but we'll give it a chance to curl back up over the next like 5 minutes. So let's say 6.99 will be my stop really. 6.99. So I probably could have been a little bit lower, right? Now we could give it more room, but on the higher side of the range, so do want to be a little bit careful if it comes down to that level. We'll see if it continues to curl back up here into the new high. Okay. Take half at 40 for 40 cents. An ad spot could be 65, but we'll see. The new 5-minute candle is 1 minute 15 seconds. I think 65 for the ad spot. I'll watch right here. Good bottoming wick at the lows. New 1-minute candle. There it is. Let's see. My average is a little bit higher. There we go. I'll sell that last position and now hold at 63 average for the next push. Hey, I'll take it off at 80. I'll watch break of 8 with full size again. Here we go. Can we hold over 8? Probably could have held it a little longer, but let's see if we hold over 8. There's room now to 920. Which is not, well, yeah, which is a good ways away. So let's see. Halt level at 30, 830. Is it a false breakout? Wow. Are you kidding me? Well, it's not good. We'll need to give it like 20 minutes now. Well, no, not 20 minutes, 10 minutes. Yeah, that last ad at 63 I should have held a little bit longer. I kind of was getting ready to like scalp again, so I wanted to get ready for break of 8, but we could have waited a little bit more, right? We only took 10 cents there from a move that went to 90, so we missed out on 20 cents. We left 20 cents on the table. See, this is the thing when we do have momentum, is that if we look back at the first setup, right, the first halt, was there opportunities on those first 3 candles before the halt? The answer is without a doubt yes. But then the halt comes and we flush down, and in the slower market we never get this follow through right here, and so it makes a big difference when we talk about how many chances did you had at the stock. Even through the second halt, I didn't really get back like green. It took till the third resumption. So, you know, this is the good thing with follow through. I think the first 5-minute candle here to make the new high looks good, but that's in 4 minutes. So I'll wait and we'll see what happens. Some traders might like it again at the lows, but I don't know about that. If I was in the green early with a good, like a good start to the day. I would have took more shares on that trade, but being that the risk was like 25 to even 40 cents, because if it flushed below 7, I probably would have been stopping out at 680. I already knew that was a chance, but I didn't want to take too much size because that would have ended the day for sure. So in 3 minutes, the first 5 minute candle to make the new high, which will be at 59, could be worth it. But I think I reduced my size at this point, just 200 shares, not even push my luck, because I already didn't do as well as I could have done with considering the move it made. So right now, I'll just reduce size, protect the profits, take it slow, take it easy, and at least lock in the green day. The thing that I've been thinking about the trades off the lows is, do I wanna do I wanna have consistency towards which part of the support zone I buy? Do I always want to buy the lowest level in the support, or am I okay with buying it low, high, or mid? Well, high, mid, or low, right? Because I could have been long at 705, but I didn't want to wait. And we had buyers at 20 for some time, and I'm like, you know what? I'll throw the order out at 20. I actually threw 800 shares by accident, hitting the buy button twice. For the first time, so canceling and then putting back 400 shares. Could have gotten myself in trouble there though, because if I'm long with 800 shares and the dust flushed down to 680, it's not a good day. It's a $400 loss. So the new candle to make the new high is 1 minute and 20 seconds out, which will be at 60. So, I'll do 300 shares. 300 shares, not going to go up above that. But we'll see if that candle comes on the 5 and can give the setup. For those of you watching on YouTube, once again, hit that thumbs up button. We have 327 people watching, but only 87 likes. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button. And of course, consider subscribing if you are new to the channel. 260 in the next 20 seconds. Can we hold this low here? In the next 40 seconds, 760, not 260, 760. Yeah, man. We just gotta take the trades and live with the results. And as it's an A quality trade for me, that's why you guys don't really see me like punching the keyboard or something. Breaking the screens, because as humans we all can get upset. But I think as long as it's an A quality trade, like what do I really have to be upset about if it doesn't work? Now, if it's a trade that I did something silly, then I think you guys probably will hear me complain a little bit more. So there's the new candle on the 5. I think 760 is still a level I like. If volume can come up here and it's strong, 760, watching. Let's see. If volume is coming in at 55, I'll take the long early. What will it be? Flirting with 50, flirting with the levels. No volume, so no trade, and it's down to 31 on the bids. I still like it, but we'll see. Give it some more time. I only traded 10,000 shares if we look at the sell orders too, but 5,000 shares really. There's not that many shares. Could have done a better job with share size, but I think the way how it started out, man, just always hard to tell real time if we're gonna see the follow through. So here we go, 45, 48. Can we see 60? I could watch the break and hold of 60 for a safer entry. But I think if it rips over with enough volume, it might not even come back down. It could go straight to 8, in which case I would miss the trade. But it is a higher risk entry at like 58 though, 55 if the volume isn't strong, because we can easily dip down. We could lose 15 cents quickly. Well, my size is small, so that's a good thing. My share size is on the smaller side. Just 300 shares at this point. I gotta be faster with that support zone, man. Faster, because it did come down to 13 the first time too. But here we go, we're pulling back a little bit, so giving it some time. We could be on the backside of the move, right? It's always a possibility. And so if the entry doesn't come, it's not a problem. Not going to be upset or anything like that. We always want to consider if the stock is on the backside of the move. If we look at the 5-minute chart, we could say this is the second pullback on the 5-minute. We could go to a 10-minute chart to see how it looks there. But we are having a big bull flag. Let's zoom out a little bit here. It might be finished, but I still think it's a little early to know. A little, it's a little too soon to tell. Because if we make the new high, it could be back at high of day with good volume. But I do want to start thinking about that in case, so I'm not too aggressive. I don't think it's the time to be buying big size at the highs. So can we hold up above 7 for a fourth time? Let me see what they're saying in the Discord. Jason A, all out. Yeah, so it's coming down. All out at 780. Took the dip at 716, so it's a pretty good size trade. Yeah, so it looks like it might be finished. I mean, it's still early. We just never know. There's days like this where we pull back to the VWAP. You come back in the next hour and the stock is at $10. So, I mean, we could keep watching at it as we look at some other stocks. TWAC, not much. HOOK. Marcelo saying to the depths. HOOK is down. HOOK did well, man. It did pretty good. Looking at the 5-minute chart here. The 5-minute chart was not bad for HOOK. This was at 265 earlier. I did mention it was going to be a hard maybe, but I guess it did, hold up well. So good flag here. It did hold the VWAP twice. And then right here, another good flag. Ended up holding those lows, and then the third pullback on the flag is where it's not holding up. So this one is going to, obey the rule of 3. It's going to come down. Not good. But it gave a good move overall, so I guess it's not too bad. These stocks, though, for me, are I realize I just got to just trade the lows, man, because the thing is that gets me is that the days where I come and a stock like HOOK actually is moving like a good stock, like it'll go up 20 cents, 30 cents, but then I get caught up trying to buy too high or be too aggressive. So like having to have that discipline there at all times to just, not fall into that tunnel vision. It's one of the biggest things for me with these cheaper stocks, because the trades off the lows could work. I mean, most of the times we're not going to see a big flush like what we had on Friday. That trade was just so disappointing. My good green day just, went to waste. SKYH is moving up, currently halted, getting a bit of a bounce. SKYH, but volume is on the lighter side, as we know, from Friday. Yeah, man, it was a good green day. It was a hard day because I was green, then red, then green. And here I am taking a trade where I think I'm just risking 5 cents, which if it does go to my risk, I'm still green even if it's just by a couple dollars in a day. But I'm long. I look back at the level 2. It's down 15 cents. It's a $2 stock. It's like, come on. And you get caught in a flush. So INDO, it's definitely looking a little bit weaker. It seems like it might be on the backside of the move. But once again, there's still that 5, maybe 10% chance that it's a stock. Hey, maybe we come back in the next 2 hours and it's back at high of day, but that's, I would say, 5 to 10%. 90% of the times they're gonna just keep going back down, and maybe this thing fades all the way back to $5 over the next few hours or by the close. Of course, at Thinkorswim, it's hard to borrow, right? So P&L, I started off red on NVCT. That was a disappointing loss as well. NVCT was called out in our chat room very early. Um, and before the move even started, it was called out. So I was looking at it whilst the move happened. But the volume is just always the problem, man. It's like if there's more volume, I can easily be in a trade like this early. Um, but I guess that's the thing, right? The earlier moves, I guess, is lighter volume moves. But I saw it at what was the level there? We had lows of 664. I think I saw it at like 650. 650? Yeah. Well, no, 670, I would say 670. And then the first entry I thought of was around 716. It goes from 716 to 796, but only on 55,000 shares of volume. So it's like I could always reduce size. Like that's always something that comes in my head. But I mean, with 55,000 shares, it's like, you know, I've been taught to stay away from 55,000 shares, so it's hard to like adjust on the fly that fast. But I'm watching. I come back. I look at Ross's stream. Ross is already long early, and so it's like I'm thinking in my head. It's almost like how I know what he's doing, but still, it's like how is he doing it? Because to be that confident with basically no volume. But it does open up. The next candle does much better with volume, and from there we go from lows of 730 to a high of 835. So $1 share. Me, of course, waiting for the 1 minute pullback. What does the 1 minute pullback do? False breakout, and it's a false breakout that flushes, so I lose 20 cents instead of like 5, maybe 3 cents or something less. When I'm going into this kind of trade, I'm thinking break even. If it doesn't want to go, I'm out right away. I'm in, and I'm seeing the bids are down 10 cents. I sell, I lose some slippage there, and it's like, come on. You did the right thing. You didn't chase it, and of course, the market, you weren't rewarded properly. So it's a little frustrating at times, but it's just how it goes. So can't really get too high, too low. Just gotta stay normal. I've been telling you guys, man. I think that October, November, December of last year, just I don't know. I just feel so good. Like despite this year starting this slow for me, like I feel so good about the momentum. Once it picks back up, like I feel good. I feel confident, and so I'm just waiting for the market to kind of match me. It's like this is a perfect example here today with this INDO. It starts off, I get the red trade in there where I thought we were going to get the curl back up. It's like, okay, cool. But there's no way I take this setup at 56 with how the charting looks. Why? Because I took this setup so many times in this exact situation, and I got blazed. I got blazed doing this so many times that like now finally after 4 years the discipline, it's like I had enough of these type of losses, so I don't even bother taking this entry. In this situation, it goes, and so it's like what I've been telling myself these last couple of days is that this can't last forever. Like this what's happening to me right now is only a matter of time before it goes back, man. And it's why I'm staying confident every day, because it's almost as if I'm getting unlucky on some of the situations. And it's like that bad luck or whatever that might be can't last long. Like I'm studying too hard. I'm putting in too much work. I've been doing this for too long, and so we know that next cycle is gonna come around, man. So for anybody in a similar situation, we just gotta keep digging deep and hanging in there, right? Can't give up. Can't give up at all. Kim saying Ross's style is a little too aggressive to trade. Yeah, and I guess he's fearless, right? Because I mean, he's doing. I used to. Been watching Ross for a long time. Ross is definitely way better now with his emotions, and I would say that aspect of being cautious. He's trading very freely, is what I would say. He's trading without any worry, any concern, any attachment, and he's more like a robot now more than ever before. You know, whatever he has going on financially, we know what he's doing is obviously impressive, right? He's making millions from his chat room and other different services that he has. He has a lot of good investments too. Like if you watch all of his videos over the years, he'll give bits and pieces of what he's doing. You know, he doesn't give it all out in one video ever, but you know, maybe for people in the Warrior Pro, I was never in there, so I wouldn't know, but he gives bits and pieces here and there, and if you watch him long enough, you know that this guy is like pretty well off, like really well off. So I think it's to the point now where he's just very comfortable. You know, money isn't really a concern. It's why I'm gonna it's why I'm gonna go back to the 9 to 5. Right? That's basically why I'm doing it. Because I just mentioned at the beginning of this stream I'm gonna draw $1,000 today. So I don't want to be drawing out $1,000, right? Whatever my 9 to 5 will pay for that type of stuff whenever I get one, right? So it's like the trading account will just go up so high. You know, I have a cushion right now, but the amount of money I made in the market isn't in my account. I've took out a lot of that money to pay bills, to pay taxes, to pay debt, whatever else you could think of. But I think it's you know having that cushion, because that's what it is, comfort, right? When you have that comfort, you can trade more freely. You will be willing to use more size, and bigger losses are not going to affect you the same because like, okay, whatever. I took $1,000 loss today. Okay. You know, so here we are. It's curling up, man. INDO still fighting. Still keeping an eye on it. Once again, it's, you know, like a 10% chance it still comes back up. And if it does, I think 750 is a level I'll watch. At 750, it looks good for that test to high a day. So in case it does, that small percentage, I'll be watching it. Oh yeah, Steve, good point. So what happened to the Q&A on Sunday, right? Good question there. So I'm on my way home on time. This is how my schedule is going at that point, right? I'm coming home from my girlfriend's place around 2 p.m. I'm on the highway. I'm going like at 80. My car's not fast, but it's fast. Like 80 for me is like my cruising speed. So I'm going at 80, and you know, it's one of the holes that's carrying antifreeze to like the radiator is gonna pop. It's gonna burst. I smelled it for like 2-3 days, but I thought it was a small leak, so I didn't take it to get it fixed. And of course, I'm driving, and I see some smoke. I'm like, oh, this is not good. So of course, I pull over to the shoulder. And long story short, like me being the person that I am, I called the tow truck, and I was a quarter mile away from the exit. This guy is gonna tell me 150. I told him, yeah, have a good day. So I let my car cool down, and I drove the quarter mile, and I got off the exit. From there, it was a 20-minute drive home, like through regular streets. And so I basically did that until I got home, or let's say to the mechanic shop, right? And by the end of that, because I this is what I thought. I told myself, thinking about the cash aspect, right, and how much money I used to make at my 9 to 5 job, and I would have to use 2 tow trucks. It'd have been like $400 worth of towing, and then whatever repairs. So I told myself, okay, I used to work for 8 hours and make X amount of money. How much hours am I willing to sacrifice to get this car to the mechanic? And that's why I was. And the long story short, that's why I was late. I came home late, like very late, and I wasn't able to, you know, do the live stream, unfortunately. So Duffy, man, I appreciate the donation there, man. I really appreciate it. Brian as well, $5 from Brian, $10 from Duffy, man. So I appreciate the donation, guys. Crazy day today with the donations, man. Crazy day. We still have 283 people watching, so guys, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Um, be sure to hit the thumbs up button now. We're gonna keep pushing, man. As usual, every day, red or green, positive attitude, positive mindset. Because we've been doing it, we've been doing it for a long time. Even back when I was in the simulation and I was red, before finally coming to that break even and then green level, it's just digging deep, man. We're gonna keep digging deep. And I'll tell the people this always, that I'm no stranger to being red or to being in this situation. So it's not the first time. It's happened like 4 or 5 times since I started live. So we just keep pushing, man. Gotta stay green mentally, right? Stay safe, stay green is what I usually say at the end of the stream. And it's not to say stay green in your P&L, but mentally, even if you're red on the day, you keep positive and you stay focused on the task, And if I could do it, anybody could do it, But it's not easy, It's not easy. It never was and it never will be, but it can be done. So INDO, it's going sideways. It seems like we're curling back down a little bit from the high of that flag, which was around 710. 750 is where I would like it. Some traders might be aggressive over the bear flag at 13 if it comes back up, but if not, we probably continue to come down and go lower. Yeah, man, these live streams are going to be here for a long, long time to come. Free is key. As you guys know, for me, free is key. And to be honest, just strategically, I just think it's the best way to go. Like, why compete with Ross? Like why try to compete with Ross? Like, half the people watching me are warrior trading students or just people who know of Ross. Like, and although the cash aspect is hard to relate to, I never, like I'm saying, I never like bought his course, but I had a look at it one time, and it's pretty like detailed stuff, I would say. Like, we could see he took a lot of time, maybe him and his team, to like try to build a course. And so when I'm in grade school, when I'm in high school, college, and I think back to what a curriculum is and how teachers would present slides to us, it might even be better than some of those classes. So for me, it doesn't even make sense at this point. It's a matter of just giving the people it for free, man, because I did learn for free myself, right? I learned for free from watching recaps, Ross's recaps, some of the other traders. Humble Trader is pretty good. Some of the smaller traders too, right? I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Beginner Trader, but Beginner Trading, I think he has like 80K, but I'm a big fan of his. He always keeps it real. He grinds on smaller days, but keeps it going. He's more into the mid caps, large caps, some small caps here and there. But keeps it real, showing the traders, the newer traders, what it's like on a daily basis. INDO, man, INDO. So P&L on the day right now, we're up 243, which is not too bad. We did have the loss on NVCT at 56. On better days that will be coming, this trade off the low is going to be a good trade. I messed up at that. I think that's the one. The ad was very good, right? The ad was really good, right? The ad was very good. Now I got to hold that last position a little bit longer to 85 at least. 72 is just too soon. But 85, where we'll have resistance at the whole dollar, right? 85.90. And then I scale back out and look to get back in full size over the high for more scalps. If we can break and hold 8, halt levels at 830. Can I be long at 805, selling at 25 for a quick scalp, or maybe even into the halt if it's really strong. But we'll have to be careful as always, though, because like I'm saying, if it flushes down early, I think we probably lose a little bit more than just 20 cents. because sometimes it'll be you know, the drop below the whole dollar wouldn't be bad. Maybe come down to like 95. I can get out quickly there. 25-cent loss, no big deal. But then other times we'll just flush down to like, you know, 80, 70. And you have to observe the entire loss below that whole dollar. And it's like way too much slippage sometimes. But the number one thing, though, I think, is just trusting in the charting. Because at the time, the charting is saying, hey, you know, we look good for the red to green. It's pretty bullish. High of day volume is on the green candles. We're pulling back with lighter volume into that previous high of day level. And so it's a matter of just holding, giving it a good enough stop in case we overshoot the landing zone. And from there, we just watch and see how it plays out. That's what my stop basically is. Because like when I'm buying the lows, I'm basically buying in support already. But the stop is sometimes the stop has to be a little bit big because the stocks will have this range to it. Well, it's down below the level, but it doesn't mean that it's weak, or at least not yet. And so that area is just you kind of giving the stock a room to do what it does before it can crawl back up. So, you know, can we get a red screen after 5-10 minutes? That would be pretty good. We've seen days though where the consolidation lasts for like an hour. I mean, yeah, we've seen those days. You know, consolidation can last long. So right now, just waiting around for, you know, watching the scans. KAVL is pushing up a little bit. KAVL. It looks good over 294. Currently 273 KAVL. Not a bad charting here. Still stepping up, gaining volume. But over 294 for the daily candle to make a new highs. I like it. OCGN is also still pushing up. OCGN now at 42. Last time I looked at it, I saw 09, I believe, or 10. Yeah, 410, I believe, was the high. So we had a pullback and then big red to green for OCGN. This one was called out by Marcelo pretty early on in the stream. The overall market is slightly down. We're down 200 points. The Dow is down 200 points. Nasdaq down 19 points. So a little sideways. OCGN hitting 48. It's moving here. It's moving a little bit. It's a higher float stock, so I wouldn't want to get into any scalping or anything once again, but it's moving up. Daily chart, room to 64, and then maybe even $5. But it is extended here on the one. I still need to be more consistent with pre-market, especially with this new platform. Friday was a great day to trade pre-market, and I didn't trade pre-market. I was here for like half of the session. But what I would say got me was what happened earlier today with INDO, where we had a good move, but then the stock pulled back, and I'm like, you know, I'm not seeing anything giving off good strength for me to be, you know, ready to go, and I'm kind of just doing my own thing and doing my own thing. I wasn't rotating properly, and one of the stocks had curled back to the highs already, and you know, I kind of missed out that earlier analysis. I would have needed to take an entry. That, and then the trade off the lows, it came down a little fast. You got to be quick, man. We definitely have to be fast. I keep saying it, but trading sometimes could drive you crazy because you know what you need to do, but then it's like you still have the same error kind of happen. I'm glad this one pulled back at least a few times, because this in this market we've seen last week, stocks only coming down once, quick top of the level, and then right back up if you don't take the trade right away. You know, if you hesitate for a moment or you just don't take the trade, whatever it might be, that's it, it's gone, you know. You missed 20 cents, 30 cents, which could have made a huge difference with how the day ended, whether red or green, or, you know. NVCT for a short. Is that what I just saw there? Yeah, this one's coming down. JOBBY. Not much there. Higher float. KAVL. So it's 10:51 here on the East Coast. 10:51 a.m. 10:51 a.m. here on the East Coast. Will we see another wave of momentum is the question, right? So maybe around 11:30 we could see something. If not, maybe it'll be slow and steady until maybe the power hour or mid noon. And I say mid because referring to like 1:30, 2 o'clock, right? Early afternoon around 12 here on the east, in the East Coast, right? Power hour usually will give something, but it depends. You can take a look at some of the large cap stocks just to see what's going on with the patterns. I like to look at the patterns. INDO moving up here. INDO. So once again, 750 is still a level that is today going to be one of those days where it's like a 10% chance and it actually curls back up. It's possible. Good volume on the red to green so far. So it's coming up. Let me see what the comments are saying, by the way. Once again, big shout out for everyone who donated today. I do appreciate it. ABA Legacy, I definitely appreciate it. Duppy Man, and then we had Brian. Yeah, Steve, with DAS, it's all limit orders I've been using. This flag here definitely looks okay. Looks good. It looks interesting. 718. I wanted to wait for 50. It does look good here. I'm wondering if it's too soon though. The bear flag, we had a high of 13. It might be worth a shot with a very tight stop here. We got highs of 18. Could be worth a shot here. IND. I'll use small size, 300 shares. I'll watch it, and if it looks good, I'll take it. If not, I'll stay on the sidelines. I'll watch for the break and hold, which I think will be the safer trade versus the entry at 15 or 17 as it's coming up fast. But we are getting a small flag. Good green volume, lighter volume on the red candles, so not bad on the one. Some people will take the entry over 15. I'll watch for 21 if we hold that level at the high. INDO. It's just, like this red to green here, I think is like a 10% chance. So once again, I don't want to be too aggressive, but let's just see what it does. So here we go. What's it gonna be? There's 14 on the ask. It needs like a big volume spike. Okay, 10,000 share seller at 20. Not impressed so far. We need more buyers, bigger bids, bigger bids coming in at higher levels. Churning. It's not an instant breakout, that's for sure. So it's just churning here. We got 50 orders at 15. Hidden buyers at 15, I would say, at this point. So let's see if it breaks and hold over 21. Okay. All right. I'm long at 24. Let's see if we get to push to 35.40 here. I'll sell in the spreads. 6 cents only. Not quite the push. Well, 5 cents. Yeah, it looks decent. We'll give it more. I think it needs more time. So I'll wait for 50. The volume profile wasn't as high as I would have wanted early enough. So I'll wait for 50. I'll give it a chance. Maybe more buyers get in there. If it breaks 50, the short sellers are in trouble again. Because people definitely, I would say, took more short positions in this range of 680 to let's say 730, if they weren't short already in the highs of like 59, 60, yeah. Some of, well, yeah, it'll be interesting up here at 60, but people who got short later, right, later, at like 710 will be feeling it if it gets to 50. So we could see covering into that move. And if we get up to $8 at high of day, the people who are short at 760, 780, they'll cover too, and then just like that, we'll be making new highs. And that along with the buying power, of course. I'll actually use the DAS platform here. I don't think I'll be like very active with the trades. Come on. I'll use the DAS platform here on in. Let's bring down the share size. 300 shares. Halt levels, by the way, in case anybody's wondering, 785 to the upside. 642 if it just drops hard. That would be a pretty big drop. This entry, I'm willing to take it here because it's a good bull flag on the one, but not significant follow through. So I'm going to sell it fast. All right. Torres, I appreciate it. I'll get caught up in the comments in a sec. Well, I guess it's a good time now. It's pulling back. Let's see. When I'm trading, I don't really focus too much on the comments, because I'm trying to stay focused on the key levels. So be sure to hit that thumbs up button, of course. LMD, missed an entry on the SPY for not being fast. So I guess that was a good point, a good touch to that conversation I was having at that time about being quick. Yeah, we got to be careful with the rotation too. Like Marcelo was telling me, he keeps up a few level 2s at a time. So like the top 3 stocks, if one does come to a key level, you can just look over, boom, gets in the trade quick. We see Ross doing it like that too. But I just cannot, like, I don't know, man. I cannot trade 2 at once, like, at all. Like, unless, oh, this is what I'll say, unless I'm in one off the lows, and I put my stop in place like through the broker without doing a mental stop. That way I could like just look away. The trade does what it does. I could set up those kind of orders, and I guess I will do that over time. Maybe like a trailing stop as well for a few cents if I'm up a certain amount in the trade. But it's always tricky when you do that because it's like you're kind of letting the computer take over, whilst you, the traders, I would say, have the better intuition as to what to do, as long as you're not having emotions come in the way. We'll have the better judgment on if we want to hold a trade longer or sell it in a certain area. In the money. See, Cody and Brian was having a conversation there, I believe. Ross is the GOAT. They're traders who are better than Ross, It's coming back up here. Let's see. There's traders who are better than Ross, but some of them, they don't really stream. And some of them, they do stream. Well, I guess it all comes down to, I guess it's a little subjective. And, when we talk about being better than someone, like, what does that really mean, right? Is it profits you're looking at? Is it style? I don't know. It's kind of hard to really approach that conversation when we do think about it. Not that I'm really thinking, right? But if you want to say there's people who make more money than Ross, if you look at it that way, we can say, of course. But Ross is just a beast in his own right with what he does with the scalping and the momentum. I realize he's first, but he doesn't really go outside of it as much as he could. Like he can trade options on some of these larger cap stocks if he wanted to, but he doesn't really do it as much. Is he leaving money on the table? Like if he focuses it on that full time along with the scalps, like will he make an extra 100K at the end of the year? 100 extra 200K? I think the answer is yes, but he just doesn't prefer to do that stuff. So, it's kind of difficult to really say. Everyone's kind of different. It's so unique to the field. It's like the strategies are unique to us. We could be trading the same strategy, but there's always some sort of variation depending on your personality, how aggressive you are. There's a bunch of different things. This thing looks good here. It's coming up. Once again, I like 50. Let me zone in case it's a quick volume spike here so I don't miss a trade. If it breaks and hold over 50, I like the long for the retest of high of day. But we will have resistance at 70. Like, I'd say mid 70s possibly. Let's see, high of 44, 55, 59, 91, 88. Well, it's hard to tell. I think there'll be some resistance somewhere in that range between 50 and 8. But I don't know exactly where. But I know if we do hold 50 really well, we're likely to see the push 75, 80. From there, it could always unwind and then get back in later. I wonder if there's the trader out there that had the intuition to take this entry on this red to green. There had to have been a few people who took it. For me, it's coming back into the VWAP. 670 would have been an area, but not in this kind of situation. $7.24, $7.30. The volume spike could be sudden. It could be one of those kind of instances where it's like if we blink, we miss the trade. So we do want to pay attention here. Once it gets back to 30, maybe it comes to 30, 35, 40, and then, boom. Before you know it, it's at 770 and then 780, and then just like that, we're pushing high of day, $8. Maybe the halt levels and coming close. I hate that I can't scroll down like this. Gotta figure that out. This takes too much time. Actually having to click this sidebar to come down. Yeah, Brian, every trade that I go in, I have a stop in place. I have an area where I'm risking off of, like, if the stock comes down there, it'll stop me out of the trade. And I'm always looking for a profit target. So in the last trade off the lows especially, I'm in there risking about 25 cents. And I'm looking for the move to high of day. So, I'm risking 25 cents to potentially make 75 cents on the trade. Potentially. Now, because I sell half, here we are. I'll hold that thought for a second. 734. Yeah, but because I sell half, sometimes it definitely will kind of reduce the reduce the profit loss ratio to the upside. But what I like to do, especially if the market is a little bit hotter, is to add back and then ride the momentum. And so it's a way of protecting myself in the trade, taking profits as I go, because sometimes the stocks will reject. It will come up that 20 cents and will just flush back down to the lows, and then maybe it breaks down. And so I always sell at half, around my 1-to-1 ratio, at least half the position at the 1-to-1 ratio, to protect myself in the trade in the event that there is a false breakout. And I guess it's better to do that in a colder market, you know, and maybe the entire thing really. And in the hotter markets, we definitely can hold the entire position a little bit longer because we're just seeing more follow through overall. But generally, I'm looking for a 2 to 1. If I'm risking 10 cents, can I make 20 cents? You know, if I'm risking 5 cents, can I make 10 cents? If I'm risking 50 cents, can I make $1? Right? So I try my best to always have at least a 2 to 1 in a trade. Sometimes because of how things might go, it might not work out that way every time. Like, you know, the trades you go in and they flush down, or it's just a false breakout. But on the scalp trades, it's literally breakout or bailout. And so if I'm long, let's say right now it's 720, and the stock isn't flying up, I want to cut that trade. And that actually happened to me at a break of 7, I believe, where I got out early. The trade actually went, or was it 74? I think 670. That might have been 670 or 570, one of those areas at 70. But that's the part of the strategy. It's like that drop could happen if we don't go. So here we go, 40, watching it here. Sellers at 40. Can we start to hold 35 on the bids? 35 on the bids. And can we get volume in there? If that happens, I think the break of 50 would look really good. I can watch the break and hold the 50. The early entry at 40 could work too, but they'll need a lot of bigger bids coming in for me to like be confident there. There needs to be more buyers in the area, like that collective mentality. And then once I see that kind of thing, I don't mind being long in the trade at all. Okay, movements here. Let's see. The bid's still 28, so there's still a bit of a spread. I'll give it some more time. Can we break and hold over 50 here? Not seeing any big sellers so far. It's looking decent. Giving it some time. INDO, what will it be? Here we go. There's 50. Few sellers. Can we hold 50? 60 on the bids. It's not going to dip down as much. It's not going to dip down as much there. So I'm going to actually miss the entry. It's coming up here. It's coming up. Let's see. We got highs of 59. $77 for the high of the push. If it gives a 1-minute pullback right here, that would be pretty good for an entry, but it might not. So I want to be careful. The $0.50 would be good, of course, if it does give a quick 1-minute pullback. Seller there at 80, seeing some more volume. We'll see if it gives a quick dip down to 50 for a trade out at the $0.50. I think that could be pretty good. Sometimes we don't see the pullback though, so that's always a thing that could happen if we just keep going. Buyers at 70 down there. Let's see. Can we see a quick 1-minute pullback? So there's a new 5-minute candle. The new high is at 87. 90. Okay. Good. Wow. Good break right there. It's not holding. Well, it is holding. Yeah, I guess I might have been out of that trade. Whoa, 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 whoa. We didn't get the fill there? Oh, I actually hit Shift C. So that's going to work out in my favor, but not good that I hit the wrong hotkey there. We got a high of 850 now, so a little sloppy there with the hotkeys, but not bad. Hot level's at 49. Might get locked in if we come up a little bit more. I'll watch for the pullback here. Come on, man. Okay. So, hey, it's that 10% chance I spoke about. It's not locked in, not yet. It's that 10% chance I spoke about there where it's like, if we come up, if we curl back up, it could break through the high day level. The only bad thing is that I missed the early entry, so waiting for the next pullback. Unless it gets locked in, then that's fine too. But I'll wait for the next pullback. Hot levels at 64. Yeah, that was a high entry too. But anyhow, hot levels at 73 now. Hot levels going up a little bit more. Can we see a 1-minute pullback? Is that possible? I think the price action still much easier to read on E-Trade than it is the DAS platform, though. I will say. So here's the pullback. Let's see how well it does at $8. We got a low of 18. I like $8 for the pullback here. I'll actually take 400 shares at $8 if it comes down. 805, 810 will be good. I'll have about a 15-cent stop. We'll see if it comes down. This is the 1-minute pullback. This is the 1-minute pullback. Lows of 13, so we gotta hope it comes down a little bit more here for this entry. If not, the first 1-minute candle to make the new highs up at 50. My share size at 400 shares here for the trade off the lows. I don't know if we'll come back down there though. That was a quick dip, so one of those dips that are just so quick. Okay, the first 1-minute candle at 50. Can we hold and break and hold? 13,000 share seller up there. Back to E-Trade, right? Back to E-Trade at the level 2. Okay, can we hold? Can we hold? And 49, it's not holding quite well. I should say breaking out quite well. Once it gives that quick dip, we need to be seeing the highs. 65 is high of day, so I'll still watch, but not quite the break and hold I wanted to see. Volume is still high though, so it's interesting that it didn't take off right there. Room to 940. Okay, 50, 45, then 60. So spread's opening up a little bit. Room to 9. Well, it's 920 actually. 920 is the level. 920. Room to 920. If it breaks 920, then it can really open up. At that point, we'll have room to. What's the high? I think that's like $12. 11.87. It just gave the pullback, but it's not opening up, so I'm kind of waiting right here. Not being too aggressive in case it comes down with a flush. But if volume picks up, I'll take the higher entry, like 85. But we need volume to confirm the break of 9. If not, I don't want to be too aggressive. Let's come back down to 300 shares, by the way. We didn't get the trade off the lows. Such a quick entry, man. We barely tap and then we see like 25 again, and then it's like, back up from there. This might be profit taking, but it's hard to tell. The volume is still high on the 1 and the 5, but we're not opening up, so I want to give it some time to make sure nothing, fishy is going on here in terms of a big drop. Thinking what could be a reasonable pullback, but I can't really tell. I mean, $8 again could be a level, but it'd be a pretty steep pullback. It's hard to tell right here. It would be a 5-minute pullback at that point, and I would expect a quick red to green if it does pull back to 8. Lows in the current candle at 22. Let me see what they're saying in the chat. We got Devin. Or is it Davon? One or the other. In at 735, so pretty good move there, and out at 95 in the stream in the Discord. So way to hold it down. Yeah, I think we're gonna come down a little bit more here. When it gets to 8, I think if the volume looks all right, I'll take it. But if not, I'll just hold off. But it seems like a healthy pullback. The 5 minute breakout did start, I guess, from 734. So to go to 877, I guess it's expected that we'll see a bit of a drop off. So can we come down some more here? 810 for an entry, 815. Love the calendar at 16. All right, any more red coming down, I'll take it just in case. Could be one of those situations where we don't come down as low as I expect. So can we see some more red right here for the entry? I guess I'll take 15, 16, 17. Similar stop to the last trade from before. First 1 minute to make the new highs at 40. Was that it? Probably not going to come down anymore if we do hold over 40. Yeah, man, you know we gotta hit those shoutouts, man. So it's 11:17. We got INDO still moving up. You know, I guess if we had a better start to the day, we could have been kind of just been sailing with some bigger shares. But you know, we've been locking in the green day. That is. Still expect a pullback to $8 if possible. If possible here. We got 16 for the high. The new 1 minute candle, there it is. It's a bit of a topping wick, so are we going to come down some more? Doesn't want to dip down. All right, I'll throw the order at 16 on the bids. It's not going to get filled. Keep it live. It seems like it's getting buyers at the high teens. I was expecting a drop to like 805 right there. Maybe 809. Yeah, not quite. So I'm not going to get filled right there. It is time for it to start to curl back up. So, you know, let's see. Unless it's just a really long pullback. Yeah, I'm not going to get the entry. I probably should have marked it in. Right. Could have marked it into the trade there. Over 43, if volume starts to get back in, the red to green might start from that level. So even 43 could be worth a quick scalp. I wouldn't want to hold that trade long though. Oh, wow, I got 20. Oh, the ask price came up. That's disappointing. I aimed for 22 right there. I got a higher fill as the ask price came higher. I'll take the scalp because it's going to ruin the trade. I'll get back in if we can break over 43 with volume. Not what I wanted there. So there's 40. How well is it going to hold? We are seeing volume. Okay. Can we hold? Will we hold? It's holding. So can we see 55.60? It looks good here. I'm back in slightly higher. I'll give it a second. Tight backstop, but it looks good to open up, so I'll give it a chance. 45. 10,000 shares seller at 40. If we don't break fast, I'll be out. Yeah, seeing some resistance. I thought the breakout was going to happen there. Not quite. I'll give back like 7 cents. Once again, my share size is small right here, or probably a little less than 7 cents, really. So that breakout over 40 is not happening right away for the red to green. Expecting to see 50, 55, 60, like a quick move for 20 cents in there, but not quite. The red to green, man. Red to green at 17. If I get the fill at 22, I'll hold that trade, but I got filled at 30. Okay. Here we go. Volume getting back in there. 69. High of days at 77. So let's see what it does. Here we go. Come on. Is that a false breakout? I'll take a flat trade. I'm in at 65. It doesn't go. We saw 75. I was looking for a push through 85, so I didn't sell for 10 cents. So churning shares here these last few trades. Come on, can we see? We need a good break through 77. High volume break. If not, it might start to slow down a bit. Where are those bulls? Why is it struggling, man? Maybe it's patience. Maybe we need to wait a little bit more. 74, but I'm definitely used to this kind of breakout, just ripping through. Here we go, 80. Now can we start to hold? 73, 67. It's not really giving me the confidence here to be aggressive at the highs. The volume is on the lighter side for some reason. Right here, the bulls should be very aggressive. It's strange. Maybe it's not extended. We're coming off the 5-minute pullback. Maybe a quick 1-minute pullback before the move to 920. Do we have daily resistance here? I'll have to double check on that. We might. That could be what it is. Actually, yeah, I guess we kind of do. Yeah, there's that cluster back in February of 2021. Yeah, but I would have expected a better break though. There's a lot of resistance around 88, 50, 72, and then 925 is the big level. Over 925, room to 1187, but it could be a 1-minute pullback, so we'll still keep an eye on it here. I'll attempt 71 if volume stays in, if it can stay high right here. $69. Can we see green? Big buyers, big bids. I don't mind if the trades are flat trades, I don't mind giving it a chance to open up, because I know the breakout would be like 20 cents, maybe even more. A rip right to 90 or to $9 if possibly. So watching 71 if volume comes in right here. Standstill, what's it going to be? Which way? Sellers, 53 on the bids. Part of me does feel like I should be using bigger size though. Here we go. Part of me does feel like I should be using bigger size, but kind of like how the day is going to play out. Starting off a little bit small, so to like go to bigger size now, it's kind of like against the rules, We had 90, but it's still not a good breakout because we're not going to break over 9. But I'll get 10 cents in there. I'm in at 74. I'm out at 85. Not quite the trade I would have wanted, but something. That trade I'm willing to hold to 9, 910, 915, 920, but it's not going. We get to 85. There's sellers coming in, so it's like, all right. Let me see what they're saying in the Discord. Raphael, you're in the building, man. Let me know. Checking out the YouTube stream. $9.25, the 52-week high was getting called out by LMD. That support trade I should have did. I gotta just mark it in, man, because trying to get that entry on the, why am I, that's like, I can't be that stubborn with the entry on the bids. It's like I might as well just mark it in, even if it's a 2-cent slippage. Just my stop is still going to be the same thing, which is like 20 cents regardless. My stop would have been 95 below the whole dollar regardless. So risk in at 17 or 19, what's the real difference, right? Because now once again we got to 82. I could have been in there adding into the position, unwinding. I would have made more money if I were to get the trade. Yeah, I don't know what this was about. This right here should have went to high, like new highs, like I think 920, 930. It looks great on the charting, but the buyers are like, they're not interested. So I'm not sure what's going on. it's where I start to lose my analysis, because this is a picture perfect 3-bar play on the 5. Beautiful bull flag, excellent curl off the lows. What else do we need to see for this thing to rip through 9? So unless it's getting shorted, or I can't see why buyers would have a lack of interest there at the level. So maybe it could be short sellers, right? Did it need another reset down here at 8 to curl back up? I don't think that that was necessary considering the charting that we just had. We're pulling back from a topping tail candle on the 5. False breakout on the 1. We're pulling back from a false breakout on the 1. The trade that I took on Friday on that cheaper stock, this is kind of the sign that I just looked past because the 5-minute chart was still strong. So today we'll just hold off. We're not going to look for any trades here at 8.20 if it comes down again, 8.15. We'll just hold off, wait, see what it does. Maybe it's getting ready to come back down. Haku checking in the Discord, closing up the shop, 17,000 today. INDO and NVCT, man. So some serious gains there from Haku. It's crazy because Haku and I we've been trading for the same, like, similar time frame, like around 4 years. But he's much more aggressive, as you guys can see from that kind of P&L. He much more aggressive, man. He's an open trader, shared with us in the Discord. Gives us good feedback. He was telling us, man, that when he first started, everyone goes through that learning curve, and so he had some trouble. Blew up a few accounts. So, once again, for anybody in that situation, we dig deep, we keep going. Blowing up a few accounts, being down a good amount of money, but finally, working, and clicking. And once it clicks, he's already used to that bigger size from some of those losses he had earlier in his career. And so now, he's used to that bigger size. He's willing, he's aggressive, he's quick with the trades. And so, that's the result that we could get to, for all of us looking to keep pushing, looking to keep working. It's like winning a small lottery almost. So here we go, we're curling back up. We got highs of 58 on this current 5-minute candle. That's the levels that I'll be watching here in the next 45 seconds. So it is going to hold the low at 20. It's going to hold that low so far. I'm a little skeptical because Friday is the same setup I took and it didn't work. And it's weird because I like to be consistent with the trades that I'm taking, but when we see such a nasty false breakout on a trade for no reason, well, not no reason, because it did reject high of day. And in this situation, I think it's worse because I felt like the trade should have went higher and it didn't. So is there a lack of buyers? Is it getting shorted? I want to be cautious if it comes down to 8.10. Under normal circumstances, I want to take the trade again if it just gives it an ABCD setup instead of a false breakout. So I'll wait. If it gets over 58 with volume, I'll start to look to take scalps again. If not, I'll wait. So 58 is the 5-minute breakout. What they sometimes need is to retest the lows again to then come back up with more conviction, more strength. So we'll give it a chance. And at 58, if volume is right, I don't mind with a tight stop. I don't want to risk more than 5 to 10 cents. Looking for the move to 90. We still got to keep the question in mind, are we on the backside of the move always, right? Because if it's going to start to come back down for real this time, we don't want to be too aggressive to the long side. Maybe a few dip trades. It's the kind of thing we'll see Ross doing when his stocks are coming down. A few quick dip trades here for 10, 15 cents, maybe 20 cents if it's a good one. But the shorts will definitely be aggressive on the way down. Some of them might already be in around 860, 870. Once they saw that failed high of day break of 9, Maybe they're short at like 880, 890, 870 with a stop at $9, 910. Maybe they're risking 30 cents, at 9 or maybe a little above the level and looking for the stock to go all the way back down to 720 at the VWAP. So we got to be wary of those short sellers. It's definitely something to be careful of. 858. I feel like the longer we go on, the likely we're to see a big red candle somewhere too. So I want to be very, very careful once again. It seems like it's just more likely. It's just the natural occurrence of things. Like the longer we go, the likely we are to the more likely we are to see problems. No fees, man. No fees. Who was it? Charles. No fees, man. No. In fact, I think. I mean, I don't know. I don't know for sure yet, but this might even be a better route than Lightspeed, man. Because I mean, if you're not paying commissions, right? Because Thinkorswim doesn't have commissions or ECN fees, and so the Dash Trader platform is not going to have any of that either, because it's through Thinkorswim. So, and I called in twice, so I spoke to different people on Thinkorswim and DAS, and so no fees on that front. There is a monthly fee. I'm paying a $150 a month for this subscription, right? $150 a month, which I don't think is bad, because of what it gives. I mean, I think it's worth it for sure. But it's definitely not cheap, but I don't think it's too expensive when we consider how the money works in this day trading world. So, yeah. No fees. LMD, the 1 minute chart, it's rolling over. Yeah, so it might be on the backside. Tesla, Tesla, let's take a quick look. You guys know, man, I'm not too into the large caps unless we're looking for some short trades. But taking a look at Tesla, oh, this is a good pattern right here. Head and shoulders. For those of you who know for those of you who know of the ABCD and how much I like it, this right here is the inverse of that. So the ABCD, that W, right? That W that we'll look for in the charting. This one is like the M, right? It's like an M. We talk about the alphabet. And, double top. Perfect area to go short once we start to see weakness. This is a lovely strategy here. And, I mean, look at the follow-through right here, right? Just amazing follow-through. Wow. And I'm guessing the market kind of went down a little bit at that time, so it definitely helped out. Some people will call this a head and shoulder. Actually, no. No, I don't think so. Head and shoulder might be more like this, where we come up, it goes like this, and then we kind of come back down. Yeah. I don't know the name for this particular setup. I mean, I just call it the inverse of the ABCD. But yeah, there's probably a proper name somewhere. Yeah, but it's definitely down. Not a bad setup at all. This is why we have to check them. It's an expensive stock, but we could get in there with a couple of shares, still make some money. Or some people will straight out trade the options. Shout out to my guy Troy, man. Troy's been trying to I've been talking to Troy. He's been trying to get me more into the options for shorting instead of just going straight out with shares on the large caps. But I think I'll work my way to it once I can continue to work on those entries and keep checking in on the large caps. Once my execution and timing is down, I think at that point it doesn't matter whether I'm using straight out shares or if I'm trading the options, it doesn't matter. All right. Local also switched over to TOS. Okay, okay. It's faster than the smart routing and Thinkorswim. I don't know if that's possible though, enabling direct routing through Thinkorswim, because I've spoke to them a couple of times. They always would tell me it's not possible. They'll just route everything through the smart routing. And the way how they describe the smart routing is that from all the market makers that they have, they will give you the best, and I'll put quotations there. They'll give you the best price, the price that's like next in line that's available. Now, when we look at how many people are trading and hitting the buy button at one point, especially in the open, first few minutes, it's almost like a highway when we talk about traffic, right? And so, yeah, they might be giving you the next available price or the best price in their opinion, but it's not the fastest price, right? Depending on what orders you're using, there's that. When you hit the buy button, a lot of different variables, which market maker they're using. Um, you know, I know a lot of their business goes through the Citadel, right? And then the Citadel will kind of will route the orders from there to the exchange. It's a whole process behind it, but you can choose, right, whether you want to use BATS, ARCA, whichever one. With the direct access routing, and it's basically that order going straight to the exchange, right? But it's I don't think it's like how should I say it? I don't think it's like a bad system they have at Thinkorswim, but it could be better, especially when we look at all the lag that they'll have every now and again. It definitely could be a little bit better. You talk to some, and then the thing is that some of these people will be inconsistent with what they say. Like, you'll talk to some of them, maybe they're like a new employee. You'll talk to someone at the trade desk who's an actual broker that's been working with the company longer. And I guess different personalities. Like, I've actually had people tell me, I've heard some things. Like, I had a guy tell me, if you were ever in a trade and it's a trade where the broker kind of caused the issue, you can call in and the broker will buy those shares from you and reimburse you your entire capital, all the equity that was involved. I can call right now, put the phone on loudspeaker. I'm pretty sure somebody will tell me no, that can't be done. Maybe, and it could be policy changes over time. There's a lot of different things that will happen, but I feel like a lot of the times different people, because sometimes you call back for the same problem and you get a better solution from somebody else. Yeah, so local, I agree with that. The orders are definitely faster than thing. I felt it in some of those trades that I took with it. The only problem is just the level two itself, man. The level two from DAS is a great level two. It's just me getting used to it, I should say, is the problem, really. Um, it's gonna take. I think it's gonna take. I can't believe it's something that I'm actually gonna have to take time. I would like to think at this point I could just pick up any level two, and just be able to trade like I always would trade. But it's just such a difference to it. Like being able to read when the green is coming. And I know that might sound crazy for some people. Like, wait, what? He's actually having that type of problem. But yeah, reading when the green is coming. I think some of it will have to do with me just getting used to how fast the numbers will update and what that means, like in terms of filtering out the noise. Um, And what I probably could do for my time in sales is probably put it to where only a certain amount of shares can show, right? Hey, nothing below 100 shares, because 100 shares for me doesn't matter on some of these stocks when it's about to give a breakout. I prefer to see buyers of like 500 shares, 300 shares, let's say 300 shares minimum. But when I'm saying, hey, where are those bulls? Can we see bigger buyers, bigger bids? 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10,000 shares. That's the kind of quantity that I'm really looking for to be, feel good that other traders are also liking the area here. Just now we came up and it's like, where are the buyers? I'm in there and back out very quickly because we get to 85 and it's like you're seeing red coming in, people selling on the bids, which could be profit taking, but we need that immediate wave of green, the second wave, to push us through 90 at high of day for the break of 9. So it seems like we're on the backside, but definitely agree. I believe the fills are feeling much better, especially pre-market as well. I'm using small size. I still have a way to go with my size, but I'm in pre-market compared to Thinkorswim. It's like I switched back to it. One of the trades, I'm like, what was that? Like, why did it take so long to go through? It's like there was like a half-second lag in the entry. It didn't go through as fast as it should have been able to. Now I'm using market orders, so this is on Thinkorswim, not the DAS. DAS I'm using the marketable limit. But we know what it is with market orders and why we'll get slower fills, right? If I hit buy the same time with someone who's hitting buy with a limit order, I mean probably even after, right? If they hit the buy button after me, they'll probably be able to get a better fill than me because of how it works. It's like, this is how the brokers look at it. It's like, hey, this person wants to get filled at 782 and the price is going higher fast. The price is moving up fast. Let's make sure that person gets filled. If not, their order's not going to go through. We're not going to be able to make that fee. The fees that the brokers will make in terms of just routing the orders, ECN fees, those are other kinds of fees, right? So they prioritize trying to get that order to go through first versus a market order. Okay, this guy doesn't care if you get filled at 84 or 83. So let's make sure this guy at 82 gets filled and then the guy at 83 can get filled where he doesn't care because he's using market. That's how cut dry they look at it, right? Now with Thinkorswim, because the hotkeys are awful, I prefer to get slippage than to have to deal with partial fills. It's how I look at it. Some people might disagree with that. Everybody's style is different. But for me, I can say confidently here with my style, with Thinkorswim not having good hotkeys, I prefer to get slippage than to not be in the trade. That's how I've been doing it, and has it cost me money over the years? I mean, I there's no way for me to do the math, but I mean, it has to be thousands probably. At least a few $1,000s, I would say. And we like to think that with sizing it's even worse, but it's as bad as it gets now because a cent is still a cent despite the amount of shares you're using. But we do know with bigger size, it's like 10 cents of slippage on a 5,000 shares, it's $500. It's like that's like a huge difference with profits at the end of the trade versus if you're in with 5,000 shares at the right level. But it adds up. The money adds up faster with big size. And the bigger the position, the harder it is to get filled, and the more slippage you'll have naturally, right? Because at the end of the day, it's still an exchange. When you're buying, somebody has to be selling for you to get filled, or else your order is just going to be out there in space. So there's a concept of like, hey, every time you're winning, someone is losing. Every time you're losing, someone is winning. It's not necessarily true. It's just that every time you're selling, someone is buying, and every time you're buying, someone is selling, right? That person could be selling it, and for me, it's like I'm buying a little higher on the breakout. Somebody could be selling a trade that they were already in lower to me, and I'm buying it high, looking to sell it higher. And so it just depends on who the shares are coming from, right? It depends. We'll never know because it's not that detailed to give you the backstory of each order. But Maybe 50 years in the future we'll probably have all of that. Maybe you could go back throughout the day and actually see. Maybe they give you like the location or something, which I highly doubt. Maybe confidential stuff, but we're curling back up again. The stock doesn't want to die, man. It doesn't want to quit. It's resilient. It's relentless. So, as we look back at the charting, volume is light here. It'll need to sustain good volume in this move up for me to get serious. Raphael saying Haku did a little bit better than him today in terms of just profits. Didn't take a look at DWAC. Yeah, that move pre-market was crazy, man. Light volume, but still impressive. So INDO, here we are, curling back up. Usually, like, it's 11:47. It's getting a little bit later, but the stock is still giving, high. It's curling back up. It's still relevant. It's still very much in play. So I'm not going to shut it down yet. I'll keep watching on from the sidelines. If something comes up where it looks good for entry, I wouldn't mind. But for now, I'll stay on the sidelines. I think volume is very light right here, which I don't like. Volume is way too low. We're 4 minutes into the 5-minute candle. So I'm not going to trust this flag unless it breaks out. Then over 50 is where I start to get aggressive for high day again. But I don't trust this flag right here yet. So if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll be live once again tomorrow morning. I'll be live earlier tomorrow. Today I literally took a bathroom break like before the open. So tomorrow I'll be live at like 9:05. But of course Ross sees me going live, and Ross wants to go live at 9 o'clock again. Before he was doing 9:15, 9:20, so I pushed down my time even earlier. Maybe I'll do 8:50, right? If I feel good tomorrow, maybe 8:50. Try and get an early start. Trader Todd wants the backstory. Yeah, it would be pretty cool, man. Hey, 10,000 shares were sold, and they don't have to go specific, like, hey, 10,000 shares sold, from, let's say, like I'm in New Jersey, right? Let's say they don't even have to go down to, like, the city or the county. Let's just say, hey, 10,000 shares sold in New Jersey, bought at XYZ price, sold at XYZ price. That would be interesting, though. That'd be very interesting, man. Like, you'll have access to the books on the back side of it, on the back side. Right now, we're seeing the front side of things, where it's like, hey, someone wants to buy 1,200 shares right now at 33. We don't know where they're gonna sell it, for a profit, for a loss. We don't know. Are they adding to a position that they already have? So it would be pretty cool. You could look back through the logs throughout every day. It'll be a lot of orders, though. Maybe they could just put a few of the best ones, a few of the worst ones, and maybe some in between. Maybe put a cap on it, and we could look back and see, like, maybe there was an order from Alaska that did 10,000 today. All right. So here we are. It's flagging, and are we gonna break 50? It needs to break this with volume for me to get interested here. Let's see. I'll keep my hands on the buy button in case it does break and it looks good. Once again, I do want to be careful of false breakouts and that kind of thing. So my sizing is at 300 shares, nothing crazy. I do not expect to lose $1 a share or something, anything serious like that. So just watching here. $50. All right. I'll give it a shot here at 60 for a scalp to 75. Yeah. No volume, no follow through. So it's gonna be a flat trade. Well, no, not a flat trade. 9-cent loss. it's a good build up, but where's the move? It's still holding 50, but it's a breakout or bailout trade. We got to see that breakout there. Not seeing it, so back out of the trade flat. Well, not flat, for a loss. Keep saying flat. We're gonna get back 20 bucks or so. 30 bucks, 30 bucks. If the volume doesn't get in there, it's not gonna make sense, for the breakouts. We'll give it time, and what I probably will do now is just wait till high of day before I touch it again, really. It needs to prove strength, give volume. It's still very much in place. Some people might think it's a little bit weak right here, but the reality is that we could, 5 minutes from now, it could be halted up at 950, and then it's like, it's like, whoa. So we want to at least give it the level of respect. It's still up 90% on the day. So I'll at least just watch from the sidelines if we're not going to see the volumes stay in the stock for the time being. Crazy spreads, not with Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim is a free commission broker, but there are other brokers out there. I believe like Interactive Brokers, Lightspeed, where there's still some small commission that you'll have to pay, whether maybe $1 in out, or $2.95 or $3, something like that. I'm not too sure of the exact numbers. We're getting another flag. 45. 50. Why am I willing to take that trade there is because when we do have a flag and volume is coming in, we just had a consolidation. Like, how likely are we to see another consolidation, one candle above the consolidation we just had? This is why you guys will see me taking a lot of these entries here, either at the highs or like in this candle if we're still looking good for the break of 50. It's because I'm expecting, hey, can we see 2, 3 green candles in a row on the 1 minute before the next pullback? So if we break over 9 and then pull back to 880 before the next move, then that's kind of how I'm looking at it, versus a pullback, right here, right away. So it definitely isn't ready yet. We need some more time, and we'll give it time. We definitely have time today. I'm not talking to the chat. Yeah, today I didn't do. Yeah, today I didn't do a good job talking to the chat. Kind of been looking at the chart, and we did have some side conversations here and there. It's definitely a lot, man. There's 2 chats. And then there's trading, paying attention to the indicators. Some other channels, because the style of trading that they'll have. They'll be able to interact way more with the chat. So right now what's going on is a lot of the traders having conversations amongst themselves, and so there's the breakdown. Yeah, that volume profile wasn't the best. So coming back down, weird audio. You know what? I'm not too sure. I do know that the HVAC is on. Okay, so Raphael saying that's a short up there. Yeah, so that lighter volume, man, for sure. Coming back down. So it's 11:55. We'll see. I'll stick around another 10 minutes maybe, and then from there, I'll look to head out if we don't see anything. Todd saying the audio is good. Yeah, I'm not. Maybe it's something on. Maybe Chase. Maybe it's something on your end. Okay, let's see. I'll get caught up here. Cody, you can trade pre-market and after hours on Thinkorswim, but what you have to do in your active trader window, right? You got to change this symbol here. This TIF, well, it's on the bottom. It's on the bottom template. This symbols that says TIF. You want to change that from day to I think for after hours it's EXT and pre-market GTC EXT, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so day TIF, you come right here and you hit the order. So we're gonna give back a little bit off the top right there, which wasn't too good. It's still a pretty decent day. We're up 302.02. My volume today wasn't that high, compared to like other days where it's hot. 7,500 shares. I guess it's a decent amount of shares, but nothing crazy compared to what I could do. Because I could be trading a stock like this with like 1,000, 1,500 shares every trade. I gotta get better with changing on the fly. I mean, it's so hard for me to do, but that's something I really gotta work on. And when I say that, I'm referring to, okay, at this point in time at 11:08 on that resumption, it was like, okay, I think this is a strong stock now, because I had a lot of like, I'm not too sure because we had this big breakdown. So, the question is, and that's the thing. I was red at that time. I think I'm down like what was it, like $80 or something? I can't remember. I think I'm down like $100. So to try and size up at that point, it doesn't seem like the right thing to be doing. But on the other side of it, it's like the momentum is finally opening up. This is what I do want to see for the breakout trades. So it's a little bit of a tough decision, right? But starting the day, like I believe if I can get a good start, let's say I do catch this move early before the first halt, right? If I can catch this thing early before the first halt, maybe I can say, okay, I can be more aggressive curling up if we're up a certain amount early. But, being red in the second push right here, it's like, yeah, I don't know. But this was an excellent stock all in all, because we pulled back and we held the level. So a true test of strength. We pulled back a second time, we held the level, and we had the third move up, and now we're pulling back again. So at this rate, we would have had like a 3% chance of making high of day again. When we look at previous stocks in the history, right, it's like, giving this move was already a low percentage, but it held the VWAP, curled back up nicely. So now I think that's it. It's coming back down. I'll check back in a few hours. When I got some errands, I'll go run and come back later on to see how it's going. So that'll do it for me, for those of you watching on YouTube. Well, before I do that, let me see. Let me go up a little bit more in the chat to see what else I might have missed. Simple. So yeah, we're green today. $300. We'll take it. We'll be back tomorrow morning, hopefully for an even better day of momentum. Message. Okay. Deleted. Okay. Jackson. Are options better for a small cap account? Jackson, if you're still here, I mean, in some ways, I guess, yeah, right? In some ways, because with options, the way how it is that you don't have to use as much cash outright to be able to see a return. But that's why people do come to small caps, though. Like for me, when I started, it's one of the reasons I came to small caps, because you don't need as much cash in the small caps to be able to see a good return. And so you'll see people doing account challenges, whether $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 accounts, or even smaller than that, 500, 1,000. But you definitely have to be pretty good, right, in terms of the experience, because it's definitely not easy. Generally, the more cash you have, the easier it is. I would say generally, right? Maybe you're well above the PDT, you don't have as many restrictions, that kind of thing, and so you could take a few more trades here and there. Because sometimes when your account is small and you're only taking a few trades a day, you might have a really good trade or two, or it might be a day where you're kind of flat, and then, it's like a stock like INDO. We had good trades around 9:30 and 9:36, let's say, into that first halt. But if you're trading below the PDT, or you're just taking a few trades a day, you could potentially, you just have to watch on and miss out this action here from the sidelines between 9:50 and then 10:16, and then again at 11:08 till around 11:20, let's say. So I think it depends, but you could definitely do it with options. There's people we know of that have done it that way, and then also outright shares, right? If you're using shares, so it could go both ways, but I think it just comes down to the experience. And if you're green and you're very disciplined, I think it could work. What a year it has been, man. What a year it has been. What I've been telling a lot of the traders too is that there's still a lot of, we're in February, right? The year's been going fast, I feel like, but we're in February. Uh, we have 10 months. I mean, 10 months is a lot of time. We have a lot of weeks, a lot of days, and so moving forward, it's like there's a lot of potential moving forward. Always, right? Always more days like today. So we'll see as we keep going, but. Yeah, so I'm scrolling up in the chat, not seeing much else. There's a few other questions, but we're at our 140 viewers. Some of those people might have left out. Can I start trading with $2? Well, I don't know if that's possible. Well, I guess you can start trading. You can definitely start trading, right? If we really look at it, but in terms of a return, you're probably not going to see much for returns. I mean, you can take one share here and there on cheaper stocks. Kind of just get your foot in the water, get used to price action. I guess really and truly you could start with any amount of cash. But in terms of seeing a return, you're not going to see a good amount of return. Yeah, you're not going to see a good amount of return when we talk about straight out money, right? Now, can you be in a trade and make 50%? It's possible, right? I mean, INDO today went up to 90% at the highs, or maybe a little bit more. If your strategy, if you're looking for that, like, what's it called? I can't think of it, but anyhow, I think it's an opening range breakout. I believe it is opening range breakout. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, the opening range breakout. People could be in this thing as early as $5 and still be holding. So, it's possible to see that kind of return. But in terms of just making a lot of cash, we know, we're not going to see much there. But yeah, so looking through. So for everyone today, Brian, once again, I do appreciate all the donations today. Steve, LMD, Cody. We got a lot of names, a lot of people. Pretty soon we'll be at 1,000 viewers per day, man. It's like every day I'm coming in and I'm teaching a big seminar, showing people what I'm doing, and I've gotten some good comments too. There's a lot of people that reached out and said that they've been able to make a lot of progress, right? Gain a lot of ground, because sometimes even though we're not trading the same exact strategy, the general the general things like discipline and holding ourselves accountable, making sure we study, making sure we stay motivated, all those good things. Like it's kind of like it's repeating over and over in your head, and so we're kind of doing the right things, right? We're doing the right things. A lot of people are seeing how I react to losses. Like you'll see that losses at this point, like for a loss to bother me, I gotta lose like 2,000 or more in one trade, like that. Like maybe that is when I could get a little upset. I still don't think it'll bother me. Like, I get frustrated, but I don't think it like make me do anything crazy. Like, I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. But people are seeing how I'm handling losses. It's like, yeah, whatever, because what it's getting frustrated gonna really do for us, right? So we gotta move on, move to the next A quality trade, keep going. Some days we might start red. I always prefer to start in the green, go higher in the green, close at the all-time highs. Today I'm red, a little bit more red. I finally come green, I push up, but I did give a little bit off the top in the last trade. And the stock here is still fighting, It looks weak because the volume is not looking good. Like, volume has been decreasing. When I come back in the next 2 hours, I'll watch it and see where it's at then. But right now, I think it's definitely on the backside. Volume is coming down, and that's usually a sign that we're going to start to fade out. Now I would say there's definitely like maybe 2%, 3% chance it curls back to the highs and actually goes to 11 or something like that. So for those of you who will be around, of course, it's one to just keep on the watch list just in case something happens, because we just never know. But besides that, for everyone else, if you're going the distance, continue to trade smart, continue to trade setups. I'll be live tomorrow at 9 a.m. sharp, so stay tuned. Make sure to hit that notification so you know when I go live. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. The final P&L on the day today. I'll go single screen so you guys can see the logs. 302.02. So it's not a bad day. Good start to the week. Mondays and Wednesdays have been a little bit slower for me, even last year. I don't understand why, but to get better. To get better is always the goal. So, as we keep working, we'll improve. So, trade smart, trade setups. And if you are red today, right, you can always consider throwing in the towel. Like if you're at max loss or something. Tomorrow will be another day. We'll live to fight another day. Let's make sure not to push any losses too big, and come back tomorrow, because it's all about the averages, right? Even if it's slow now, it's all about the averages, right? And the averages, as long as they make sense in the long run, we know we can keep keep pushing. So the averages, keep that perspective there. So take it easy, guys. Stay safe. Chase, I don't know, man. It seems like the audio might be on your side of things. Maybe it's too loud. Maybe I could put it down lower, but I'll check. I'll listen to the video afterwards and make the adjustments. But take it easy, guys. Stay safe. Stay green. It's been Relentless Trader. It's been a good day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Crazy. I do keep the track of that in my trader view metrics, but we'll talk about that another time. I'll catch you guys. Stay safe. Stay green. I am, of course, signing out. So likewise.